Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new season of the Purposeful Life Show with your host, Adrian Starks. I'm excited to share some new updates of the show with you, starting with a new look, sound, and energy, as well as a variety of guests coming aboard with intriguing topics of conversation. I hope you enjoy the new level of energy that will be brought to the show. Thank you for all of your support since the very beginning in 2019. Wow, it's been 3 years already? Because of you, the Purposeful Life Show is now in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, and we aim to get it into the top 1%. Continue listening to the show and share it with others. You can also now listen to the show on my Facebook page at Adrian Starks, where you can comment in real time and communicate with me about your aha moments. Thank you again for all of your support, and let's make this one hell of a year and be purposeful about doing that. Wishing you all much love and success. Hi, my name is Adrian Starks, and welcome to the Purposeful Life Show on the Champion Up Podcast. This podcast is for the courageous creators wanting to create a life of meaning, adventure, and fulfillment, all while helping to make the world a better place. I'm happy you're here, and if you're new to our show, make sure to give us that 5-star rating and subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. Also, connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Champion Up. It is always that one idea that could be your breakthrough. It's time to step into your courage and believe the champion in you. Welcome back to the Purposeful Life Show on the Champion Up Podcast, and I am your host, Adrian Starks, and I'm happy to have you back for another amazing episode. Before we get started, you know what to do. Go ahead and subscribe to this podcast and give us that 5-star rating and leave a review and to share this episode with anyone that you know that needs to be a courageous creator in their life and make some creative changes out here in the world because they need that. Today, we are going to get down and gritty with this. We're going to talk about this syndrome or this phrase called fake it till you make it. And I know that this has been around for a while. Many people still talk about this. And let me tell you something. I have some words to say about that. And this episode today is going to be just with me because I really want to talk to you about the power of believing in truly who you are and what you're capable of doing. Now, I know that you've heard this before. If you just believe in yourself, you'll do it. If you just have a good positive attitude, you'll do it. And a lot of us were like, yeah, right. But let's be honest here. You do need to believe in yourself. Because a lot of us, we're walking around here, we're wearing masks out here in the world. And I've been doing it for years. Wearing masks with different people. Have you ever felt like when you go somewhere, you talk different? When you get around certain friends, you laugh at jokes that are really not funny to you? When you're in your workspaces, you don't really say the things that you really want to say about that person who is being negative. You just want to tell them that, hey, I don't want to hear that, but you can't because you want them to continue to feel like you are part of their group. Do you feel like when you have family members around you that you really can't tell them that what they said was rude or was condescending and you don't appreciate that because you are scared that they're going to get mad at you and it's going to cause some tension? There's many levels of the fake it till you make it syndrome. It's not just going out here in the workspace and wearing things and saying things to get people's attention. It is how we show up with people. And this is the problem with authenticity in this year of 2019 as we roll into 2020. Because 2020 is all about creating. I want my courageous creators in 2020 to step up to the plate and to champion up and be ready to take on those changes and challenges to grow forward in their lives. But you cannot do that if you're faking it till you make it. Psychologically, when you say anything about faking, you know it's not true. You're putting on a mask and you're wearing it and you're trying to convince someone of a reality that really is not your reality. So deep down, you know it's not true for you and you're not going to feel good about it. And that energy will come across to people. I'm sure you guys have been around people and you've said, they were saying a lot of things, but something just doesn't add up about them. Something's not right. I don't feel good about them. That's that intuition, that deep part of us that knows that a person is faking something. It is said that through scientific research that human beings, we communicate through body language 70 to 80% of the time. The other 20% is through verbal language or words. So reality kicks in. You can say a lot of things, but if your body language, if your feeling about those words, feeling about yourself doesn't match up, it's going to come across as unauthentic. And people are not going to buy into it. And what's going to happen is their BS meters are going to go off. And they're going to say, you know what? This person's not real. This person's not true. For years, I have watched the industry of speaking. I've watched the industries of entertainment. I've watched the industries of business. And I saw a commonality with everything. Everyone has to be polished. Everyone had to be clean cut. Everyone had to wear suits and ties. And I get it. There are certain situations for that. But to me, that's not success. I don't care if you come to me with a suit on and you're clean cut and you're polished. If I don't feel a natural connection with you, game over. I'm not going to deal with it. Doesn't mean that you're wrong. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It means that I've got to connect with you. The issue of today's time is that we're trying to fit in every little space and crevice we can with everybody. And here is the thing. You are not supposed to do that. There's over 7 billion people on this planet. And trust me, there are some people that you're not going to resonate with. There are some people that are not going to like you. There are some people that are going to judge you. I get many of those. There are going to be some people who are going to laugh at you when you fall on your face because you're out here trying. You're out here doing. You're out here creating. Never mind those people. Brush them off. We live in a time now where it's time for us as human beings to get more creative with ourselves and express ourselves. I always say we're here to do 3 things. That's to learn, to grow, and to fully express ourselves. But you cannot fully express yourself if you're faking it until you make it. Let's shift this paradigm, this myth, this misinterpretation of what it is to be true to yourself. Let's say this: if I believe it, I can achieve it. If I believe it, I will achieve it. And believing is not just sitting on your butt and just waiting for something to happen or something to pop into your face. Believing is you're acting on that. You're going into action each day. You're doing certain things a certain way to act on that belief, and that becomes your reality at some point. It has to by nature's law. It has to by the world's law. Everything changes, but when we fake ourselves to change, to try to appear a certain way to certain people, you may fool a few people here and there, but here's the thing. Some people are going to figure you out and they are not going to have anything to do with you. So what can you do to stop faking it until you make it? Well, first you got to find out what is important to you. If you say something and it doesn't sound right, doesn't feel right, then that's not what you're supposed to say. If someone's around you and they're talking about something or someone in a negative way and you don't feel good about it, well, now it's time to step up to the plate and say something or remove yourself from it. I will never forget this. I heard Maya Angelou when she had a party that she invited everyone over and it was going great until she heard some people in the living room speaking very negative about a certain group of people. And she heard profanity coming out of their mouth. Immediately, she walked over to them and said, "Let's go. Let's get your coat. Let's go. You with them too? Let's get your coat. Let's go." And she just took them out and said, "Hey, here's your coats. Bye-bye." She didn't want any part of that. That's being true to yourself. When you step up to the plate and you say, "I'm not going to have any part of that kind of behavior that's going on around me here." I have, for a long time in my life, tried to blend in with everybody. And I became quite the master at it, actually. And we can do this to ourselves. We can become master chameleons. And we blend in with whomever we think is going to protect us. We blend in with whomever we think is going to bring us happiness. We blend in with whomever we feel is not going to hurt us or to give us a gain. Would that become through monetary values or through success values or achievement? We do that. What happens is you surround yourself with people who are not true to you. And then you wonder why they fall by the wayside when times get bad. Then you wonder why they fade back when you really need them, because they were never true in the first place, because you wasn't true to them, because both of you put out this persona that wasn't there. Now let's bring this into business. How can you be true to your business? Well, you've got to know, first of all, your brand. What is your brand? You are the brand, okay? You are the brand. You got to figure out what is your vision. What is this all about? Why should I care? And who are you? And what can you do for other people? Then you got to decide how to market yourself. Then you got to find people who can help you market yourself. And that is being true to your brand, true to you. And it's going to take some time. It took me over 4 years to get to where I am today. If you would have talked to me 4 years ago, you would say, there is no way this guy's going to make it to where he's going. Because I was unclear. But as I grew, as I learned, as I began to shed off all those things that were not a part of me, I became more clear about where I was going in my business and my personal life. So it's not about faking it until you make it. It's about believing it until you achieve it. You've got to start believing more in what you are capable of doing, and you've got to investigate that on a daily basis. If you're working a 9 to 5 job right now, and you know that you're more than that, then you got to start investigating what those things are. I spent 8 years working in a call center, handling calls for angry customers. It fried my brain. I was hating everything and everyone until I started thinking about what things I could be doing different with my life. I had to be true to myself. I had to stop faking this idea. And I had to start figuring out, why am I angry being here in this call center? Because it wasn't where I was supposed to be. Now, there are some lessons and some things I learned, experiences that came from that allowed me to be a communicator now in what I do. But being there, nothing changed until I started thinking about all the positive things I could be doing with my life, like learning new skills, taking better care of my health, moving on to greater and better things. But that meant I had to be true to myself. Being true to yourself doesn't mean just walking the line of straight and narrow and saying, well, this is who I am. No, being true to yourself means that you're going to be vulnerable. It means that people are going to look at you in a different way. You're going to lose some friends. I'm going to tell you that right now. That happens. Get ready for it. And if you're not ready for it, you're not ready to be true to yourself. You might even distance yourself from families, or families may distance themselves from you. You might lose the job. You might lose the career. It takes courage to be true to yourself. We look at people across the world who are not true to themselves and we think them to be weird, oddballs, outliers, morons, all the names that come up. But reality is, when they wake up in the morning, they know who they are and they're doing what they want to do. When I first started in this industry as a speaker, I wore the suit and ties. I can't now, and I see some of those pictures, I cringe when I look at them. I'm like, what the hell was I doing? But I was just trying to start something. But I caught myself along the way and realized that, hey, that's not me. I've had many things that people have wanted me to do, and it wasn't right for me. I had to say no. I had to say thank you, but I prefer to do it this way, and I prefer to move on this way. It takes time. It takes time to achieve. It takes time to have success. It takes time to really get to know that part of you that you're willing to express in the world. It's not an overnight act. It's a study. You got to be a student of your own self. And that means you're going to have some alone time. That means you're going to have some investigation time of figuring out what's going on behind this body of mine. And what energy signature am I putting out here in the world when I come in contact with people? What is the feeling behind that? And this is not a popularity game, ladies and gentlemen. This is an impact game of leaving an imprint on this world to let the world know that you were here. It's a reason why everyone has different fingerprints. No mother, no father, no siblings, not even twins have the same fingerprints. It's because you're supposed to put your hands on something that is of your personal trademark and right. That's what that means. Yes, there's many podcasters out here, but people can't do it the way that I can. They won't sound like me. They won't have the rhythm and cadence like me. And I won't have the rhythm and cadence like other people. Some people can't get on stage the way I can and command the space. Or get in front of a room of entrepreneurs and command the space, but yet show humility, integrity, and value, and empathy. That's me. For years, I was told, oh, you're too positive. I got this a lot in personal relationships too. So I thought I had to be a jerk. I thought I had to put on a certain persona, and I realized it wasn't me. The fact of the matter is that every human being is designed to do something good in this world. Now, we choose how we go about doing that. But I realized being positive, being optimistic was my game. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I don't wake up sometimes and I'm thinking that this sucks or this is not a good day for me or I'm having some challenges. That happens a lot. That comes with the turf of living and getting out here in the world and trying. But I always fall back to knowing what resonates with me. Being rude and mean to people doesn't resonate with me. Trying to get back at people because they may have, taken something from me or they may have taken advantage of something, that's not me. I keep it moving and I keep growing forward. That allows me to be authentic. That allows people that need to see me. I don't hide behind the veneers of other people and things. I get out there. Oscar Wilde, the Victorian writer, he's best known for one of his books called The Picture of Dorian Gray. A very controversial book, but it is indeed a classic. I was reading this book a couple of weeks ago, actually, and a lot of things in this book resonated with me when it came to understanding what's inside of you. And Oscar Wilde had a quote that many people use, and he said that, be yourself because everyone else is taken. Come on now, Oscar Wilde. Be yourself because everyone else is taken. Everyone else is taken. This whole fake it till you make it syndrome, drop it. It's time to start believing it so you can achieve it. Start thinking about what things you want to do in the world. What's your personal contribution? What's your societal contribution? What do you want the world to know that you did before you left? I know you've probably heard this before, but you have to continue to hear things before it can stick with you. Stop faking. Start saying what you need to say. Start acting on those things you need to act on, even though there may be some fear there. There's no such thing as being fearless, but there is a such thing as fearing less. Start giving yourself a chance, rolling the dice on you a little bit more, and stop rolling the dice on other people to hopefully like you. Stop being a human chameleon. Chameleons, they go out there, these lizards in the forest, in the jungle, and they blend in with their environments to do one thing. That's just to survive. But you are more than a chameleon. You're a human being with a 3 million year young mind that has done so many things across the planet that you got to start using it for what it really is. And that is designing your kind of life and being your kind of self. And you are going to lose some things in behind that. But the worst thing of all is losing yourself and getting lost, which many people do. And even if you're lost, you're not going to be around the right people anyway. They're going to want to help you or put out a helping hand because they have been using you to make them feel good because you're all wearing masks. Take off the mask and start believing in yourself more and start achieving more out here. And I encourage you and I challenge you to step up, to wear your stripes. There's a reason why I chose a tiger as the emblem for Champion Up. A tiger wears its stripes because it reminds itself of every defeat it has, but it wears it with honor because it knows what it has survived. And it uses that to walk through the jungle with courage to take on the next challenge and the next challenge. I want you to go to my blog on the championup.net website and read the blog on being a courageous creator. This blog will talk to you more about what it means to be a courageous creator and how you can start doing that. Because this is necessary for you to stop faking it and to start believing yourself to achieve it. Go to championup.net to read that blog, write a comment down, share with other people across the planet who need to understand that being a courageous creator is what being a human being and being authentic is all about. Until then, I encourage you all to be that courageous creator in your life. This is the Purposeful Life Show on the Champion Up Podcast with myself, Adrian Starks, and thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed our podcast today, don't forget to give us that 5-star rating and subscribe to the show so you don't miss out on the powerful life-changing content on future episodes. Also, make sure to go to championup.net for even more life-changing content. Until then, I encourage you to be the courageous creator in your life.